All right. Welcome back. Third try. Let's see if this one works. This was, man, I don't know what happened. That was the craziest thing. 3 times now, my one screen just goes completely black. My OBS goes offline, almost like I just got a spike and just knocked everything offline. And so now I've got everything plugged back into the backup UPS, and fingers crossed it doesn't happen again. But can't even explain it. Don't know why it happened, why the lights behind me went out. It was just kind of a funky thing. So anyway, welcome back if you made it and didn't give up on me. It is about 11:20 now, and the 5th of April 2021. And so what we're going to do is go take a quick look. I want to show you guys some of the things that I've been watching this morning. Like I said, this is usually my day in the shop where I'm trying to get orders filled and get caught up on inventories and things like that. And so I just thought I'd take a quick break and pop on here to Patreon, and so you guys get to see me a lot more frequently than the folks over on YouTube. So that said, let's hop over here. Just want to show you. Now this is one of our electronic suites, and I want to show you. Now this is where Trump and his family are all located, okay? And now this aircraft, this is a Boeing E-8 J-Star. This is one of your electronic suites. It's a surveillance aircraft. It has the ability to map things. It's an airborne command center, and it can, map out ground targets and conduct surveillance and all kinds of crazy stuff. So it is a very suspicious when you see it actually fly right over West Palm. I mean, that's right over Trump's house. I mean, he is right here in this area. So for them to fly over that, and now they're out here just doing laps, and they've been out here for a while. And so like I said, that's pretty suspicious that they would be off this location working that. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on it. We also have quite a few E6s up. Those are your airborne command centers. If you guys have seen those before, I'll kind of show a picture. But that's what this one looks like. And this aircraft actually coordinates ICBM activity, and I think primarily with the sub fleet, but across the U.S. So if something happened outside of Night Watch, those things are referred to as looking glass, and we've got 4 of those up currently. And let me just kind of get over here and go down our line. Now I did see that flashbang. So we've got 2 703s up. Let me see where the second one is. All right, so the other 703 is actually headed just like it did last time. It's coming out of Warner Robins, it looks like, in Georgia, and it's headed over here by the coast of Louisiana, just shy of Houston. Now, last time it did a turnaround and went back from here, so we'll see if it does that again. But in terms of the P8s that are up, it looks to me, as I get through here, I just want to make sure we got 1 B-52 up, 2 703s, and I had 4 E6 looking glasses, which is, you don't see 4 of them up very often. So here those are, if you guys can see over here on my side screen. Well, you can't really see that, can you? But those are 4 right here. These are 4 E6 looking glasses. Then we've got an E3 Sentry. And let me just see here, 4 P8s up right now. So just here in the southeast, what you see on my map, we have 4 P8s, which are sub hunters. Okay, and so let me just see if any of them spike out. This one looks like it's coming off the water, so you can see this was off the coast. That's Jacksonville, North Carolina, Wilmington, and so this one was running a track out here. Now that could be an indicator we have a sub out here, and here's another one doing the same thing. So interesting. So that could be U.S. sub-wise. That's how they talk to them too. Like they'll come out and do some boom drops and do comms that way. And so wouldn't be unheard of, but given all the P8 activity we've been watching lately, that is a little bit suspect. All right, now this is a UK C-130 rolling out of Miami. And let me just back up here real fast. I want to make sure. Now we do have quite a few. If I go up here and filter by H60s, got quite a few H60s up, it looked like. as well as EC45s. And so this is our H60 activity. Now, typically in this panhandle area, that's going to be your spike of let me turn that one off. That'll be your trainer area typically. And so, but if you mix that with the EC45s, we're probably about 20 up, I think, total. So it's a little heavier than usual. And let me see, here's another P8 coming out of Tacoma, Washington, headed eastbound, a couple 737s. All right, so let me get over to our TFR. I just want to show you guys. Let's see here. Yes, there is an E6 over Tampa, I believe. And let's see here, you got an R135 taking off out of the northeast. Yeah, again, those are all big time electronic suite spy plane stuff, okay? And so let me see if I can find that R135. Not seeing it yet, but now, oh, there's Air Force 2. All right, so this will get me over to our TFRs because I know that is actually heading to the San Francisco area. So that is going to be Bob Marley coming out of her LA location headed to here. So let's get over to TFRs real fast. Just going to bounce through those and show you as we get into this side of it. All right, and sorry I had to drag things around. My screen's completely, that was the craziest thing. I don't know what happened and why it was only one screen related, not two. Why it was OBS, because OBS is plugged into the main APU and how. So I don't know. That almost felt like it was intentional. That was kind of crazy. So, but that said, as I get things back over to the right locations, as you guys can see, I'll just kind of walk you through the TFRs we have now. This one over Jacksonville is going to be an air show. This one over Valdosta is also going to be an air show, TFR. This one right here is pipeline related, so that's going to be a gas release. And so you guys know I've already looked at these, obviously, so that's why I'm going back, calling these from memory. Senior Living Center, that's a permanent over the Brown Zone. This one up here is also, that's kind of a, it's still over the Boston area, and that was one where we had an emergency event, and I don't know why they still have things, overhead for a TFR. That's kind of a little red dot right there. Is kind of interesting. Now, these up here, these are going to be VIPs, and so somebody is heading to Chicagoland. Not today, it'll be tomorrow, because I can tell you flashbang schedule, unless, well, it's actually on there for the 6th, which is tomorrow. So it could be flashbang, it could be Bob Marley, not totally sure, but we'll find out. But that is for tomorrow, okay? Now, as we get out across the U.S. here, you'll notice we've got these little ones right here and these little ones right here. Those are gas release. Those are pipeline related. Okay. We still have, just make sure I can't see it. I'm looking for the one for the George Floyd. I know it's up here somewhere, probably hidden underneath. Not seeing. Okay. I'm trying to find it, but I think it's probably underneath the rain or something. So anyway, as we get here into Texas, we still have these over the immigration centers. We got the one along the border, this one down here near McAllen, Texas, and this one here. Those are all going to be immigration related TFRs or security. This one right here, same thing. These are all security related. Now these, when we get over to this side, these are VIP. That's for Bob Marley. And these are VIP, and that's Bob Marley. And that is going to be where actually looks like she's headed that direction now. So that would confirm that's Bob Marley. And that's where we are in terms of active TFRs right now over CONUS, okay? So let me close, I'm gonna button this up. And that's gonna be, that's Air Force 2, not NA, okay? And so let's see if we get any more. Let me see what that one is right there. Let me just kind of get in a little closer. So that's a C-17 headed northbound out of Tampa. Tanker. It's kind of just a hot mess, a little bit of everything today. It doesn't look like I'm seeing anything that's, other than this bad dude running off the coast of Trump's location. I think that's a little suspect, I'll be honest with you. And so a little P8, that one's also kind of suspect, looking for something off the East Coast. Okay, So let's get over here. We're going to take a quick look at the spa. Today's going to be pretty quick. There's not too much going on. I will tell you, if we just kind of look at what happened, this is since Friday, last time we got together. We got Charleston, supply run. Jacksonville is going to be your legal eagles going in and out of the Naval Air Station. Lauderdale, that's going to be your contractors. And then this again is coming out of Charleston, is going to be a supply run for a Monday, which is a normal tempo stuff. Okay. So, all right. So Red Arrow, you're asking about what the tool is I'm looking for or looking at or using for TFRs. That's called My Radar. It's an app, and it's a free app actually. And so it's a pretty cool. And there's a lot more to it. You guys, I'll just show you real fast. You want to see how many fires are in the U.S.? It has it. All right. And it's shocking. Those are active fires across the United States. So you can see like the whole country has got fires across it. I don't think I've ever seen. Normally this time of year I see it over here on the West Coast, and it may breach in just a little bit past Colorado, and you'll get some peppered. I don't think I've ever seen it where it's been, Florida is going, and I think this is because we've got some extended drought conditions all over the country right now. So that means there's not a lot of water going. So if spring doesn't start producing some big rain in some of these areas and start getting things a little wet, you're going to probably see even more fires coming. So, all right. And let me back down out of this. All right. So we were over on Guantanamo Bay, AKA the spa. So now let me pop over to, now this is XPL Honduras. These were a little bit suspect. Now this is actually ended last week. So this is all the stuff that took place in and out of XPL Honduras, which is one of our prison watch sites. Okay. And this one out of Dover and this one out of Lawson or Fort Benning are two that I thought were kind of interesting because I haven't seen them come through before like that. So same thing with this one coming out of Mexico. I thought that was kind of an interesting deal. So they seem to be increasing activity. We'll see if this continues. It has been kind of sporadic. So you'll have times where there's just nothing, and then you'll see one or two little things pepper in. But this is the most activity I've seen going into XPL Honduras in quite a while. So we'll continue to monitor that and see if we see a trend of an uptick or if this is just a random spike and it could just be troop replen and supply runs all kind of coupled together. Okay. All right. So let's get over here. I just want to show you quickly. We're going to look at Flashbang's schedule. And so you can see he's flying solo right now. And it looks like with their typo here, he is departing Camp David en route to the Senior Living Center. And there's no real hard time on it. Then he supposedly arrived at there about an hour ago. And then he's going to deliver remarks on the tradition of Easter at the White House with the First Lady. And that's in, they're calling it a blue room balcony. That ought to be a green room balcony. But hey, I don't get to name things. So, but anyway, that's where we are. It looks like things wrap up around 1:30 today with a presser, but that's not going to be Flashbang. That's just going to be their regular press secretary. So Flashbang looks to be finishing up around 1 o'clock, and then I would imagine he is done for the day. So not a hard schedule, 11 to 1, couple hours, good. He needs a lot of rest, I imagine. And so, but that said, don't see anything else. I will tell you, yesterday I thought this was really crazy. He's no public events scheduled over Resurrection Weekend. That tells you a lot about where his heart is, as I mentioned before, getting disconnected. And so, okay. No, I haven't been. You're talking about the waste in the chat there. You guys were talking about the waste going on over in Tampa, Florida, and I haven't seen anything new updated out of that. So, but all right. So this is going to be our 163 PA, and so you guys can see this looks like it's currently this has been all over the place, but it was down in South America. You can see it down in Sao Paulo. And then it came up all the way up to Canada from northern South America, okay? And then all up to Canada, back down to Atlanta, which is different than Cartersville. All right, Cartersville is its home base, and so it looks like yesterday it returned back to home base, but I don't know who was on that. But that is one we want to watch, okay, because that's an agency bird. Same thing with this one. This is another one of your gray bird, phoenix birds, and very similar. Now this one, if we left, we were trying to figure out where it was going from Greece, and it was en route. So that was on Friday. It looks like it went to I don't know, Bishkek. So I don't know where that is. Some republic. We can pull up real fast and see. It looks like it's probably a Europe thing. Yeah. So that is there. And let me back up just one more and we'll go. And so from there, it went over to Dublin, Ireland, from Dublin to Bangor, Maine, and then into DC. And that's where it is actually sitting in Washington, DC right now. So, AKA the brown zone. All right. Now let me, I'm going to pull up real fast because I forgot to check in 312 FU. We want to just see. This one has been it's headed my direction. So it's coming out of Massachusetts to is that Massachusetts? I think it is to Dallas. And so a little bit okay, cool. Don't see that very often. And let's see, this thing has been kind of all over the board. So from Friday when we last spoke, Sunday it went to Lauderdale home base, Boca Raton, a little hop, quick bump up to Teterboro, New Jersey. Then it went to Hyannis, Massachusetts, and now it's coming from there down to Dallas Love Field. So again, agency bird doing its thing. And this is one of the Kalita charters. Landed about 21 hours ago. Again, it's in El Paso. So what I think this thing is doing is actually moving. It's probably giving people free rides, if I had to guess, because it is all over the border towns from Laredo, and it's headed up to Toledo, Ohio. So they are probably transporting people, if I had to guess, from Laredo to Toledo. And then Toledo, it probably goes back over here to Detroit. I don't know that it's putting anybody on that, but then it comes down. I think that's one of their little hubs where they base out of a lot. So without going all the way up to Oscoda, okay. And then back down to El Paso. And so we'll see what it does from there. But they are moving immigrants throughout the country pretty rapidly, both commercial airlines as well as charters from what it appears. So, all right, let me back up real fast. And this is, again, this is Komodo, and it looks to be headed, like I said, this is Trump's location. And so when this thing is sitting right off your coast like that, it's getting side views of everything. It is mapping everything probably from, if I had to guess, about Cape Canaveral all the way down to about probably Lauderdale or Miami in general. It's just mapping and gathering data, surveillance. So pretty crazy. There's your E6 you were asking about earlier. If there was one flying over your house, it looks like that one's doing touch and goes out of MacDill. So, all right, let me back up a little bit. I want to just take us a quick look left and right. And so my understanding is Japan actually had some incursions. Now we've got a little P3 off the coast. Looks like it's doing a little track work too out here off of San Diego coast. Now, I don't know, that could be a U.S. sub or some, it may not be, there's no telling. But we do see a lot of U.S. military naval ships in this general area. So don't know why a sub would be out that far unless it just didn't want to come all the way in. I don't know. But that said, it looks like we got some fighters doing a little bit of work up here. And that's there's Bakersfield, and so where's Vegas? Vegas is over here, so that's kind of in between Vegas and but it looks like they're out there flying around having a good time. So, all right, and let me get out west because that's where I wanted to look. These are tankers headed northbound. All right, as I get out here, let's look at Oahu. Not seeing anything now. I just read another. Breaking news that said that Japan had launched some fighters because China had kind of gotten into their sandbox, so to speak. So, but I'm not seeing any activity on the map. And so, anyway, yeah, I don't know how Trump can protect himself, honestly. And I see your question there, but those things airborne, it's they can do pretty much what they want. There's no way to really prevent it unless he's sitting in a metal box somewhere, where they can't really see him. But and so I don't know if Flashbang is in the hospital or not. That may have just been a rumor, or we'll get some reports that surface later. I don't know. So I haven't seen anything else on it. I just heard that. And lately, the disinformation, that probably is a rumor, I would imagine. So what can we do? Not a thing, honestly. Just so you guys know, the technology today is so invasive that they can pretty much do what they want to do. You're not going to be able to tell unless you went back. Basically, if you just decided to go live in the woods and turn off and had zero technology, and no power, you're not going to be able to do anything. We're pretty much, that genie is not going to get back in the bottle. I will tell you, your TVs, the smart TVs, like the two that I'm looking at right now as we broadcast, some of these aircraft have the ability when they are flying, and I know vehicles can, they can sit out in front of your house. Those bad dudes become basically like x-rays in your house. I say x-rays, they're not looking through your bones. They become transmitters or arrays, almost like they can paint an image of where you're sitting and all the objects in that room through those TVs. Okay, that's the technology that's out there now. So it's pretty crazy. So they can use TVs, and you think about how many TVs you have. A lot of people have TVs on almost every room, and so that thing becomes a camera lens basically, and they can look. Now, is it high resolution? Probably not. It's probably an outline that can tell, that there are people in those rooms. But it's the technology is advancing quite rapidly, and so I don't think you're going to get any kind of freedom away from it, even unplugging. Because if it's not you, it's your neighbors. I mean, everybody's got stuff. Wi-Fi, it's all tapped in. So it doesn't sound very promising and sounds kind of gloomy, but it is what it is. I don't think you're going to get that genie back in the bottle, like I said. So, all right, now let's get a look here at the Middle East. And I can see right here in Kuwait is cranking right now. It's coming up kind of late in the afternoon, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. And so looks like you got a transport rolling in. That's a Canadian transport into Dubai. We have another C-17. That's a U.S. military. Looks like it is coming out of, where did you come from? The UK. So that looks like it came out of Gatwick, London Gatwick area. And I'm going to have to zoom in to get more of a picture. Mercy, look at all these C-17s. So this is that's our tanker, which we normally see up over that area. Those are fighters that it's supporting. Okay, and so the tanker looks like it's actually, there's two of them. The other one just disappeared on me. I don't know what happened to it, but we're mapping two of them. Now you get into this. That's a lot of aircraft. They look like they just took off, or they're just jamming some funky, I don't know, maybe the it's not working properly, but air refueler, C-17, air refueler. So you've got 3 or 4 air refuelers up right now, and 2 C-17s that look to be coming out of, some of it looks like Kuwait City. There's another, this one C-17, it does regular, that call sign Moose 41. We see that pretty regularly there. Seems like it's like all hands on deck for Kuwait City. And this is another C-130 that is Canadian. Well, what are the Canadians in over there? Now you got the U.S., and we're really getting, you can see that tracking line is kind of honky there. So, but looks like Kuwait in general is pretty active right now in terms of C-17s and tankers. So the tankers, if you see those, that means we got a lot of fighters when you see multiple tankers. Okay. And these are, that's supply runs or troops, and these C-17s are the same thing, right? So, all right, let's get over here. That looks like another, that's a UK C-17 coming out of Cyprus. And it looks like one U.S. one departing, it looks like Israel. Yeah, right on the border. So that may be coming out of Jordan or Israel. I can't tell. But that one's leaving. And then this little dude, this little Golf 5, that's not going to be your regular G5. That Israeli G5 right there is one of that's that little spy plane I was showing you recently. Now, this one doesn't show, it's not showing a picture of it, but that thing has got pylons and pods and all kinds of stuff stuck to it. It's a super duper high tech surveillance aircraft, and so it seems to be doing a little bit of flying here over the Mediterranean. Notice its altitude, 39,000 feet, so it's at 40,000 feet, so it's getting a pretty broad picture. Probably looking at everything sitting out here, going in and out of the Suez Canal, which is the entrance right here, and probably paying really close attention right up here along its coast and border. So I'm surprised to only see one. Typically we've been seeing 3 of them up at one time. So, and that's going to be a UK bird. It looks like that one's just, again, looks like it just took off. So, or it's landing, I can't tell. Okay, over here to the UK and Europe, that's going to be a ground test array right there. You guys can see that. It's just a little icon that's on. It's just north of Munich. Now the Reach aircraft, that's a U.S. military. Looks like it is coming out of Kuwait. All right, something's going on over there. We got a lot of transports in and out of Kuwait, so I don't know what's going on, but eyes on that one. There's your Spar 90, which is going to be one of your little dignitary birds, and that one looks like it's coming out of Georgia. So ain't no telling, man. Anytime I see our dignitaries over there, they're up to something probably no good. And another C-17 U.S. military. C-17 U.S. military. Got quite a few. That's going to be a little French Sentry. So that's your AWACS. So that's your airborne air traffic control center. This is going to be a little UK A400. Looks like that's coming out of north of Greece there. So anyway, so Middle East right here, there's definitely need some eyes on. That is going to be an area to watch. I don't know what's going on, but that is a lot of C-17 traffic for a Monday. Normally this time of day, we pop on here, we don't see anything. Maybe an air refueler up, or 1 or 2 little airplanes that are kind of flying in the general area. That right there is a pretty good stack up of aircraft. As I just kind of zoom into that area in general, Middle East, we're sitting at, give me a number, 17. So we got 17 aircraft up in the general Mid-East area. So, all right. That is going to be it for today. I'll continue to watch. I'm really curious about this tracking going on out here off of Trump's general area. I think that's very suspicious, and the fact that it's staying out there, I don't know. But that's all I've got. So hey, listen, you guys, I really appreciate your patience with me today. I apologize. I've never had it go down on me 3 times like that, and in being half of my system, which was really, really squirrely, because it just doesn't happen, So anyway, that's it. So I'll be back on if anything changes or I see some more crazy stuff going on. We do have, just so I can point out real fast before I bump off, that's going to be your little, that's a, oh, come on now, let me get on there. That's one of your drones right there. You can see it actually says DRON drone, and I'm trying to see if I can't get it to, it's not giving me any path, but you don't see those very often. But it looks like we got a drone up over north of LA. So altitude's 200 feet, so it's just getting off the ground, and it's going slow, 72 knots. So all right, so that is really it for this time. So anything changes, I'll pop back on, but you guys be safe. I will do our regular SITREP tomorrow, and we can continue on some of this discussion. Fingers crossed I don't have any issues when we get on, but I'll go live and I'll send you guys a invite and a link, and I'm gonna try to do it where I send it through email too, because I've had some of I know my space monkeys that aren't getting the notification, and I want to make sure you guys got good coverage. So, all right, that's it. You guys be good. God bless. Monkey out.